WWE wrestler, The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends at Rent a Race Car, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
Just about a month and a half away from the Spring Sizzler, the 50th running of the Spring Sizzler at Stafford Motor Speedway. But before we get there tonight, the New England, Pennsylvania Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, easy enough for me to say, been a long week here in the Vidane TV studio. We're here doing battle at Stafford Motor Speedway, the virtual version here on iRacing Live on Vidane TV. Thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube, on Facebook, and finally on Twitch, Strictly 94 on Twitch, celebrating 200 followers over there. Quick like, quick subscribe, quick share. Let your friends know you're watching some entertaining racing action here on Vidane TV on a Thursday night. It's NEPs Night in America, baby. Showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. down here in the production trailer alongside me. Ron, Aaron Creed back for the call here on a Thursday night, and we're getting closer and closer to this championship getting wrapped up. Just 3 races to go this season.
It's getting real close, and I'm glad you do that intro with all those words. But we're ready for some pretty exciting action. The field's a little spread out at the top of the points chase, but we've got some great battles kind of going right in the thick of it, and everyone's going for every spot that they can. Just mostly for bragging rights. It's not like we have a point fund or anything like that, but. Yeah, there's a lot going on. We got drivers like Steven Daddio, Kenny Kibbe, Brent Roy, Jason Ricker. Ricker's been on a roll here lately, coming off a top runner-up finish, I believe, last week. So lots going on. We got a pretty meaty field here. Looks like 28 of them on hand for tonight's racing.
And a lot of connections with Stafford Motor Speedway throughout the field. A couple of the names that stick out, the Casagrande brothers in this field. Libby's here, Bollier. A lot of names with all sorts of real racing connections to the track. My home track, I've run there a couple of times, 3 times to be exact, with the Rent a Race Car group, and it's always good to work with those guys. Been working with them for 10 or 11 years now, and I'm very excited that I'm going to be back in the car again this year. Going to be in the 66 car SRX Series weekend, July 4th weekend at Stafford Motor Speedway. Going to be an absolute blast. Regular racing on Friday night, the SRX Series back on that Saturday. How about Haley Deegan coming back? Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth signing on with the SRX Series. Very, very cool. Big things to look forward this summer, and it brings a lot of electricity to the track, and it really gets a lot of attention on some of the local grassroots racers. And when you talk about local grassroots racers and guys that really care, that really, really are passionate about short track racing, you look no further than this group right here that we see each and every single Thursday night live here on Vidane TV, the New England, Pennsylvania group. Very, very dedicated group of racers, and some track officials mixed in. We got a couple of commentary guys rolled in the mix, and some crew guys and all sorts of stuff, and they're all getting ready to do battle here at Stafford Motor Speedway, the ChaLew Performance Fall Final 75, and nothing says a good time like the Fall Final, especially when it's only March. We still got a couple of months to go before that, but I digress. We're going to get down to it because those drivers are getting ready to rock and roll, lined up on the front straightaway, and you can see that powerhouse front row. Ryan Libby with the pole in the 46 car. John Peters going to start outside row number 1.
Yeah, that's your 2 past winners here at Stafford. So exciting right there. Ryan Messer with another great qualifying run, making up the inside of row 2. And there's Evan starting in 4th. And then Brent Roy, Jason Ricker. A lot of drivers that have shown a lot of speed here in recent time.
100%. You can see everybody getting lined up. Very cool to see the Xfinity style cars here on the half-mile oval here at Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Dale Glessner, Kenny Kibbe, Steve Daddio, great run last week in the 99 car. Austin Belke rounding out the top 10. There's DJ Gerard running in 11th. Mr. Corey Casagrande in the 7CT. Going to be starting in 12th, and you'll be able to see the starting grid keep on going through your screen there. Magnum Mike Hopkins back in 17th in that 78 car. Going to be exciting to see how far up the chain he can go. And You can see just kind of slipping on back there, Brian Chip, 29 cars going to be rounding out the field here tonight. That's a lot of race cars for a half-mile short track.
Yeah, it could get a little fun right here. But we've seen the last couple times that these guys have raced at Stafford, it's gone by pretty quickly. The 75 laps, it's taken pretty much over, I guess on average, a little over a half hour to complete, even with, yellow flags and things like that. We've seen a little bit of an uptick in yellow flags in some of these short track races, but, we've seen some good, clean green flag racing as well. We saw a couple stints with that at Bristol last time out. So we saw a thrilling finish last week too. So all those fans in the stands here at Stafford on a warm fall final day, they're ready for some racing here just momentarily.
Who are you kidding? It's usually 40 degrees come fall final time. But one of the coolest shots that you're ever going to see this racetrack. Yes, the racetrack. Yes, the stands full of the fans. But out in the parking lot, as we switch the camera over to that front stretch, look at all those campers. Party time after this race, after the fall final. But right now, we're green. 75 laps on the docket. That Safe Flight Auto Repair car number 46 down on the bottom side. And don't look now. Evan Bollier holding on to the top side, slipping back just a little bit. Ryan Messer going to try and move to the second spot.
And I almost forgot, John Peters with the deal to start in the back of the field for the remaining races. For a moment, I was like, where is he? Well, here he is, moving through the field. He's inside of Jared Adams already. And he's already passed a few competitors like Jeff Brown and Ryan Salvatore. So Peters already making his way through. But up front, we got a good battle going on here. I believe that's Bollier in second and Messer in third. And they're side-by-sides, Daddio and Ricker. Daddio with a bit of a different team going on there. And the yellow flag is out. And there's the local favorite, Corey Casagrande, going around.
Yeah, getting a little bit of assistance there. Dale Glessner in the 10 car getting a piece of the action as well. And what that's going to do for us is it's going to pull up the U-House Racing Designs instant replay for the very first time here this evening. And we'll find out what it was that brought us out under caution here. And being at Stafford Motor Speedway, a lot of these drivers trying to get to the bottom side. That's what really helps make the car turn. And a lot of drivers that have been here for racing for long times, that you can see the 10 car getting a little bit loose, given the 4 a piece of it. There's Corey Casagrande getting a little piece of the action as well. Keith Lord gets by, looks okay in the 17 car. There's the pace truck getting the lights turned on, getting ready to bring this field back down. But once these cars get down to the bottom of the track, you're going to see they're going to start kind of using that apron just a little bit more. And what that does is it kind of de-wedges the car just a bit, helps the car turn in the corners. And I think as we get a little bit further on into this run, we made mention only 75 laps here at Stafford Motor Speedway, the half-mile racetrack in northern Connecticut. Again, my home track. Been here for 11 years now, so it's pretty cool to see both the virtual and the real racing techniques kind of working together here. But under caution here on lap number 5 for the very first time, Ryan Libby holding on to the lead.
Yes, and we're going to get through this. As you said, already 5 laps complete. We're going to see what happens here. We got a couple more local guys in the top 10. Charles Lewandowski says the ChaLew Performance 75 fall final. He's running in the top 10 already. He's got a top 5 here in the past at Stafford. We're going to see if Glessner can move back through the field. He started further back, and there's, I believe that's Kyle Casagrande, isn't it?
Yep, brother Kyle in the ChaLew Performance number 7 car in one of the most winningest street stock drivers at Stafford Motor Speedway in the field is Dylan Kopak in the 16, another Stafford local. Runs some modified actions now. Always good-looking paint schemes on that number 16 car. And just it's so cool to me to be able to look through the field and see names that you can kind of compare with their real racing connections and all sorts of things. But we're lined up 2 by 2 here on lap number 7. Lights are off on that safety truck. We're getting ready to go racing once again.
Yeah, here we go. And now we have Libby and Bollier on the front row. Messer was showing some he was showing some challenges there when we first went green, so and we should really watch out for him. Messer's been solidly in the top 10 pretty much since he joined NEP here this year, and had some bad luck, but here we go, and we're going green here. Coming to the line, and another great restart for Ryan Libby as they enter turn 1. Messer and Bollier side by side for second.
picking them up, putting them down, and there you can see Libby pulling away just a little bit. Ryan Messer now single file in that second spot. The race right now is for third. Brent Roy, the Camry kid in that number 26 Camry, trying to make the bottom side work. Up on the high side, though, he's got the 56 of Evan Bollier trying to make the top side work. Second flag, caution flag comes out here on lap number 9. Looks like Steve Daddio might be pointing in the wrong direction. So Sal in the number 12 car.
Yeah, it looks like some more trouble. We're going to have to take a look at the yellow, what brought out the yellow there, and see what happened once again.
And we'll pull up to U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Take a peek here. Focus in on the 12, the 7 CT, and there you see Daddio giving a little bit of a nudge to the 7 car. Everything looks good, and there is the 44 car. Scott McDonald loses the back end of the race car, tags Daddio in the 99, tags Ryan Salvatore in the 12 car, and that's going to bring out the second caution flag here. Looks like everybody able to drive away, but some big-time damage there on that number 12. And Ryan Salvatore actually sponsoring that movement there for John Peters. The final 5 races, if John Peters elects to start in the back of the pack and drives through the field and comes home with a podium, $50 gets donated to Grand National Greg's gift, GNG's gift, and definitely do a quick search for the hashtag on that on any social media outlet. You'll be able to pull up exactly what we're talking about. And if he comes home with a win, that's $100 into the donation pot. So that's a pretty cool thing to see. And taking a look right now, Steve Daddio getting some damage repaired on that number 99 car. And we take a peek through the field. John Peters up 18 spots. Looks like, or check that, he's up 10 spots, holding on to the 20th position.
Yeah, a lot of changing around of positions here. Peters staying out of trouble, and we got quite a few drivers kind of, because of those first 2 early yellows, a few drivers went around having to come from the back of the field, and then the ones staying out of trouble are moving up through the field. So, like Johnny Miller running in 12th, he's a former runner-up here at Stafford during the inaugural NEP running at the track. So, watch out for him to potentially move through the field. There's Mike Hopkins, another local favorite, running in 10th already.
It's pretty cool to see. We had Mike Hopkins ran a TCM event, Tim's Corner Motorsports, that we see here a lot on Verdane TV, big-time friends of ours up in the Maritimes, up in Canada. And Magnum Mike Hopkins came home with a P4 finish in one of those races this past Monday night. It wasn't televised, so technically it didn't count. But great to see the 78 car running very well. We're getting ready to run once again. Lights are still on in the iRacing Mustang. That's not a Mustang. That's a Silverado, I think, isn't it? No, that's
yeah, it looks a little
F-150. It looks like maybe it's a Silverado 150.
Something like that. I think it's Mustang, though. That would be quite wild, though, if someone converted a pickup into a Mustang, though. I kind of want to see that actually now.
Yeah,
but
it sounds like something you'd see in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, we're doubling up, though. Libby and Messer now on the front row, with Boyer back to third. And we're going to see if Messer can hang with Libby. Libby's been the one that's strong on those first 2 starts.
Messer, an absolute powerhouse when it comes to these short track races here in the iRacing Simulator. From up in Canada, up races with the Tim's Corner Motorsports, the Eastbound Esports group up there in Eastern Canada, and jumping on down just a little bit south to join the NEP Series here in the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series. And we're green once again here on lap number 14. How about that whole shot from Libby, the 46 Safe Flight Auto Repair car? Shoots on down to turn number 1. He's going to slide up the track just a little bit. Doesn't do too much. Sounds like we're going to be under caution once again. And there it is. Big bada boom.
Yeah, every time Libby gets off to one of these great starts, we re-rack them once again. So, yeah, quite a few looks like had some damage in that one. A little bit more of a skirmish than the first 2 were. Going to be a bit of a cleanup on this one.
100%. We're going to do a nice wide-angle shot here on the U-House Racing Design instant replay. Focusing on that 12 car, Ryan Salvatore got a big piece of it here towards the back of the pack here. You can see a couple of distinct lines on the initial start. There's a car down in the grass. The landscaper's not going to be happy about that one, tearing up all the grass, especially after all this rain. It looks like there was multiple incidents around the racetrack that kind of queued up that caution flag. So I think the field at this point probably going to get a slap on the wrist from the race officials. Everybody going to let them know that we're trying to have ourselves a race here, and we can't do that while we're pointed in the wrong directions. We're going to line these guys back up once again. And what this is doing is it's really giving Libby and Messer an opportunity up front to kind of focus in on the restarts, almost study how each one's going to be pulling the restarts, and that's information that you can really use towards the end of the race.
Oh, for sure. And I'm ready, though, for us to get a few more green flag laps in and see how everything shakes out. So, but we'll see how that goes here, coming to the green here in a couple laps. And, yeah, so once again, it's the same front two rows. And we got lurking there, though, in 6th and 7th, though, are Kenny Gibby and Austin Belkey. Haven't said much about them just yet, but they've been contenders all season long, and are sure to be once again here once we get going. Yeah, we're, in a few laps, once we go back to green, we're going to be closing in on a third of the way home already.
Absolutely, and there you can see the lights on that pace truck are off, getting ready to go green once again here. Lap number 20 as we cross the stripe, and we're going to see who is going to come home with the victory. All 29 cars still out on track, all 29 cars still on the lead lap here, 20 laps in. You made mention a third of the way in already, and past a third of the way already, but there goes the pace truck down that pit road entrance on the back straightaway. These drivers going to come out of turn number 4, thundering and rolling. Coming out of turn number 4, green flag flies once again. We're already 3 wide mid-pack. Libby gets the whole shot he needs. He's going to hold on to the lead for right now. The Hornet's Nest is about mid-pack, and Charles Lewandowski right in the middle of it.
A couple drivers from Connecticut. Lewandowski now in North Carolina, but originally from Connecticut. And right behind him is Mike Hopkins. And here comes John Peters in the 09, working that low side, like you were talking about, working that apron and everything. He's doing a good job running a bit of a different line than some of these other competitors. There's another Connecticut racer, Kopech, trying to follow Peters through as we ride along with him. Some contact in front of Peters, but everyone keeps it going straight this time by.
Steel cage racing, as it's been coined here at Stafford Motor Speedway, and I love it when John Peters makes it look like I know what I'm talking about. Look at that cockpit view, using that apron, getting that car to turn. He is making his way up through the field here, already running in the 12th position after starting shotgun on the field. He's going to try and get a little bit of money, a little bit of coin donated to GNG's to gift, and that's going to be courtesy of Ryan Salvatore with RSal TV. Check him out on Twitch, YouTube, all that good stuff. Some awesome edits, some video edits from that camp, and it's going to be exciting towards the end of the season. We're going to be having ourselves a little bit of an awards show. Anybody that's been a fan of NEPs that saw the Super Trucks draft show about a year and a half ago, that's kind of the style we're going to be doing with that award show. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Alcoholic beverages and adult beverages are highly recommended, but Vidane TV always reminds you to drink responsibly.
Well, luckily, most of us are in the comfort of our own living rooms, so it's usually not too bad. But yeah, we have mostly single file racing going on right now. As now we're a third of the way in, 25 of 75 complete. Libby keeping about a half-second advantage on Messer, and everyone's just kind of settling in right now, and that's actually kind of good to see after the first few yellows, but lots going on, though, and we're probably going to see business pick up here sooner rather than later.
100% little conveyor belt action right now, but still some good racing all the way around the racetrack. Kyle Casagrande getting in a little bit of a trouble, dropping all the way back there. Some damage on the right side of the car, but we stay green as the 6th car, John Mailer, gets down and around. That's going to be for 24th place. Kyle Casagrande dropping towards the back of the pack. There you see his brother Corey Casagrande in the 7 Connecticut car. Down a few positions as well, back in 22nd. But still, just everybody really kind of pretty much up in that main pack. There's Stadio in the 99, dropped back quite a few spots. And a little bit of bumper car action going on. Good shot for Brent Roy there in the 26 car. No, check that. That's the 96 car. Teammate Wyatt Alexander. He's up 11 spots running in 16th, trying to march forward.
Yeah, Wyatt Alexander doing quite a steady run here. He's having a good run right now. And, yeah, we saw a few of those drivers like Keith Lord have to get onto the binders there mid-pack. But, yeah, Wyatt Alexander, we see him occasionally here in the NEP series. He's pretty busy doing a lot of things in the real racing world. But he's got a couple solid finishes here in the past, finishing in the teens. So he hopes to improve on that. And right now he's steadily working his way up. On the screen now, you see Keith Lord and Stephen Daddio having a good battle. Once again, around mid-pack, that's where we see a lot of the action going on. Lord goes a little wide in that corner, and Daddio trying to work his way inside, but right now they remain single file.
Up front, still the same. Ryan Libby holding on to the lead right now. Going to put Salvatore in the number 12 car a lap down as he goes up on the high side and moves out of the way. Ryan Messer still on the back bumper, trying to get up to the 46 car, see if he can get him to go anywhere. See if he can get him high, get him low. Evan Bollier right in behind him in the 56 car. Been in the top 5 all night, and he's been showing why he is the second-place points driver behind John Peters, reigning defending 2-time series champ. Brent Roy still in the top 5 as well in that 4th position, the number 26 car. The Recar Toyota doing a really good job holding on to that top 5. Jason Ricker right there in the 9 car. And right in behind him, haven't mentioned him too much here tonight, Austin Belke holding on to that 6th position.
Yeah, Belke's doing a good job. Must have passed Kenny Kibbe when we were off camera there, but up to 6th spot, and Belke's really looks like he's showing some speed here, trying to inch his way into the top 5 here. DJ Gerard, we haven't talked much about him. He's running an 8th spot, and he was telling us about how he's going to be going down to Hickory here in a couple weeks, in which we'll see quite a few of the NEP guys down there, which is pretty exciting. It's only 25 minutes for me, so a short little skip and jump to see some of you Northeasterners.
Yeah, 100%. Not racing NEPs next week. A lot of the drivers and members of the NEPs family heading on down to Hickory Motor Speedway, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I believe that's on Flow Racing next week. I'll have to double check on that, but it's going to be a lot of fun to be able to put some faces to names here with the sim racing world and the real racing world, and it's cool to see this iRacing thing. Kind of a crossover, a little bit loose there for the lap car. Ryan Messer's 2nd place car, holding on to it. Now 3rd place car. Evan Bollier gets down and around, so he's trying to close on up. Brent Roy trying to close the gap as well. And there you can see, looks like the 29 car of Jeffrey Brown going to go down a lap in the number 29.
Yeah, I was about to say, we're going to have to see if some of this lap traffic that's going to come into play might make for some implications here, but Brown's staying far out of the way, doing what he needs to do to not interfere with these lead battles going on. We'll have to see. Some others might not be as anxious or easygoing, I guess you could say, to fall off the lead lap. But yeah, we're going to have to see if anyone else gets caught here about to fall a lap down. I believe Jared Adams just lost the lap, and yeah, there you see him right in front of Bollier. So Adams is taking the high line, as we saw Brown taking the inside line there. And it looks like it's causing a little bit of trouble for some of the leaders, just a tad.
Yeah, it's one of those racetracks where you could really get around it pretty quick if you use the entire racetrack, but sometimes that's not quite a task that can be done. But one of the big tasks that's been done last week at Bristol Motor Speedway during the UHAS Racing Design Showdown at Bristol, Gentleman Jeff Brown led his first laps in the NEP series. Everybody came down pit road, and he came around after he's getting the lead lap. He got the lap led, but one of the original members of the NEP series, been 3 years, finally led some laps in the series, so it's always good to see that. For hashtag Gentleman Jeffrey Brown, not quite the run he's having here tonight. 2 laps down in 28th, but still getting around this racetrack as quickly as he can. And we can see Libby starting to really come up on a lot of lap traffic. There you see the 48 car of Brian Shipp going down a lap, and he's got about a quarter of a track in front of him, but still a couple of cars out front. Dan Winter now getting close. He's the last car on the lead lap in 24th. Kyle Casagrande in 23rd. Scott McDonald in the 22nd position. So if these guys don't get a quick caution here, it's the longest green flag run we've had of the night. They might be seeing some of these cats go down another lap down.
Yeah, Libby doesn't seem to be having any trouble with lap traffic as of yet. But yeah, he's kind of hoping this goes green, I would think, with the comfortable lead he's got on Evan Bollier in 2nd spot. So, and there you saw Ryan Messer sliding around once again, getting very loose, and it allows Brent Roy to dive inside and take the 3rd spot. Jason Ricker looking in 5th spot, and he's going to have to wait another lap or two to try to get 4th.
Waterfront a food and eatery, pub and eatery on the quarter panels of that number 1 car. As the fuel starts to burn off, the back end of the race car gets a little bit light and loses contact with some of the racing surface. So the 1 car a little bit loose in the corners, it looks like, but he's able to hold on to it. There's Jason Ricker right in behind him in the 9 car. The 4 of Kenny Kibbe is up in there. Austin Belke is trying to get himself into the top 5 right there in the 7th position. Kind of 5, 6 cars almost under a great big old blanket. You can see that 4 car trying to make the outside work. He's going to pull the 9 car just a little bit. He's going to actually pull him a lot here getting into turn 3, but is he going to have enough coming out of the corner? Not quite enough racetrack. Oh, the 9 gets big time loose, shoots all the way down to the inside grass. He's going to drop a couple of spots.
Yeah, Kenny Kibbe's charging through the field, though, with some of these moves. And as we see them lapping by Sal there, who gives us, on top of everything that you were talking about, he gives us these great stats to review, such as the point standings and the past finishing orders here at Stafford. And yeah, a lot going on here as we see Kenny Kibbe right on the tail of Ryan Messer for 4th spot now. And now he's going to dive low. We saw him working the outside. Now, and we got trouble. And they keep it the same. They keep it going, though.
A little bit more bumper car action.
I thought that was going to be quite a stack up right there.
You can see the 1 car still struggling with the rear end of that race car. And how about that, the 09 car of John Peters creeping on in to the top 10, getting close to the top 5. He's trying to get around Messer now for that 7th position. Remember, John Peters started shotgun on the field. Caution flag flies once again. Corey Casagrande down in the grass for some reason.
Yeah, and I thought I saw DJ Gerard as well, maybe. So we're going to have to see what happened here. It's a black car, but it might not be Gerard.
No, it's a pair of 7s down there in the infield. I believe it might have been Corey. Nope, it was Cody LeBlanc, I believe it was.
LeBlanc,
and there
yes.
You can see pair of 7s going into the corner, and they come back out fighting for the same piece of real estate. Nope, there you can see LeBlanc goes up into the outside wall, comes back down, overcorrects just a little bit, gets into Corey Casagrande in the 7 Connecticut car, and you can see looking like a modified up front, and business picking up big time here on pit road, as it looks like just about everybody's down there.
Yeah, first time we've seen pit stops today. After that long green flag run, and look who is getting out. Looks like potentially first among the drivers that pitted, John Peters, as it looks like the top 6 had stayed out on the racetrack.
Top 6 drivers have, in fact, stayed out, and 50 laps on the tires so far, 25 to go. And the first driver that came off of pit road, John Peters. He's going to be coming out and restarting in the 6th position. That is danger close for the rest of the field here. He is up towards the top. Kenny Kibbe, the new leader. Austin Belke going to be in 2nd in that 24 car. Ryan Messer stays out. He is going to hold on to the 3rd spot. Brian Marhefka and Keith Lord, the 5 drivers that have stayed out. Looks like Steve Daddio ended up coming down pit road as well. Daddio, Casagrande, LeBlanc, Ship, Adams, Salvatore, and Brown still on pit road, trying to get some of the dings and dents worked out on those cars. But 25 laps to go. Late race caution, about 2/3 of the way through. I guess not technically a late race caution, but gives these drivers an opportunity to get some fresh tires, fresh rubber, and a full tank of gas. We'll see what they can do.
Yep. That pit work for Peters' crew, though. Getting out in front of the Libby, Bollier, Roy, at least those 3, he was running behind when the yellow flag came out. So now he's got that track position. He's going to be tough to beat. We'll have to see, though, if some of these front runners can, on older tires, can stay out up front. We've seen Belke and Kibbe have been very strong throughout the course of this race.
Lights are off on that iRacing pace truck. Going to be getting going once again here when we cross the stripe. Up front's going to be Kibbe in the 4 car. Choosing that top side. Belke down on the bottom side in the 24. Ryan Messer, Brandon Marhefka in the 13 car. In 4th, John Peters and Keith Lord, the next row in behind them. Evan Bollier, Ryan Libby, Jason Ricker, and Brent Roy going to round out the top 10. And a driver we haven't talked about too much, Zane Farrell right on the outside looking in. P11 right now trying to get into the top 10 with Hopkins and Kopeck right on his tail. Green flag flies again. How about that shot for the 4 car? Going to get a huge jump Heading on down into turn number 1, front 3 cars, single file.
Yeah, I was interested to see Kibby who chose the outside there. Look at Peters in the middle of that sandwich. Somehow slices his way through, and now he's up to 4th behind Kibby, Belke, and Messer, and we got another yellow.
John Peters showing that 09 car is very, very quick here at Stafford Motor Speedway, and bringing out caution flag number 5 here, a little bit further on back in the pack. So we'll pull up that U-House Racing Designs instant replay. I believe it had something potentially to do with that 48 car, maybe coming up on a rack. We'll take a look at it here, because that's what technology does. We do instant replays and stuff like that. So here's the initial start. Keep an eye on that 48 car, gets a piece of it there for Brian Shipp. I believe the incident happens up a little bit further in front of him here. There you can see the 3 getting slowed up. There's the smoke and mirrors. Jeff Brown in the 6, or check that, the 6 car. John Miller.
When the stick slowed, I think Corey Casagrande caught a piece of it once again. So he can't catch a break here at his home track tonight.
Yeah, and that's always tough. Here's another shot here of the 6 car. Getting up into the outside wall just a little bit, trying to avoid that car that spun around. That's Zane in the 14 car.
Oh, yeah. We haven't seen Zane get into this kind of trouble late in the going in a race. Usually he's kind of sneaking up there, staying out of trouble, and then they're inside the top 10 before we know it. But not going to be as fortunate tonight, and it looks like they just tried to go 3 wide there and ran out of some real estate.
Yeah, 3 wide doesn't really work at Stafford Motor Speedway in the street stocks, let alone these big clunky Xfinity cars. So that's a tough break for Zane. Doesn't look like the damage is too bad. Was in fact able to drive away, so that's definitely good news for the 14 camp. Still on the lead lap, so we can see what he does here in the final 19 laps or so. But up front, still Kenny Kibbe holding on to it.
Yep, here we go, and we're going to see if probably next time by they're going to double up and see if Kibbe chooses the outside once again. And he seemed to like that outside, both in green flag conditions and on that latest restart. So Kibbe might be the one to beat here, but now we're going to see John Peters in the 2nd row, and with Kibbe restarting on the outside from the looks of it, Peters is going to be right behind him as we go back to green. So it's going to get pretty exciting here as we get towards the closing stages of this 75-lap event.
100%. We saw just how strong John Peters was in that 09 car on that last restart. Able to get around 2-3 cars before we got down out of turn number 2. So crazy quick here at Stafford Motor Speedway for the 09 car. But does he have enough to get around Kibbe and Belke up in that front row? Going to restart on the outside of the 2nd row. Ryan Messer down on the inside. Very quick in that 1 car, but very loose in the back end as well. And we've got a handful of drivers that have stayed out there on older tires, but we got a handful of drivers that have 4 fresh good ones after that last pit stop under the last caution, the 4th caution of the race here. But the ChaLew Performance Fall Final 75, 17 laps to go. When we cross that stripe, it'll be 16 to go. There goes the pace truck. He's going down to pit road. He's going to hang out down there while we take the green flag out here on the racing surface. And there you see the 4 car gets the shot that he needs on that outside line. He's going to pull away side by side now for 2nd. Belke in the bottom. Peters up on the top side. 7 car is around. That's going to be, check out the 17 car of Keith Lord. And a couple of other cars involved. There's Rickard. Caution flag finally comes out.
We've got a mess once again here on the backstretch here. And it's been a rough one so far today at Stafford. But how about on that, before we go to the replay, on that restart, Kibbe once again, he brought them down slow and got that jump that he needed. Now let's take a look to see what happened.
Yeah, right off the start here, a little bit on the squirrely side for these drivers. We're going to take a look here from the 43 car of Jared Adams. Back gets restarted, kind of shotgun on the field. We get the green flag. 43 car kind of bides his time just a little bit. Everybody goes into turn 1 and 2, and there you can see some of the calamity, some of the smoke. 6 and 7 cars around. It's tough to follow these when there's so many different incidences going on the racetrack, but let's see if we can back it up, get another shot there. There's some calamity going on. There's like 3 or 4 wrecks happening here, different areas. There you see the 14 car, Zane Farrell, good recovery for him. Rickard coming up off the track, the 17 of Lord around. A couple of drivers getting bumped in from the back, trying to slow down, clear the calamity. Down and away. It looks like everybody made it out of that alive.
couple of these yellows, it seems like we'd be better off saying who wasn't involved tonight. So, yeah, Corey Casagrande looks like he's going to get his lap back here and get back on the lead lap. He's still back in 22nd, though. Looks like we got someone coming down pit road. That's Keith Lord, who we saw peak into the top 10, but then got into a little bit of trouble. A couple other competitors looking to improve on their cars. Jared Adams coming down. Jason Ricker probably fixing some damage here that he's sustained. So make a late charge here, hopefully. And 22 cars on the lead lap still. That anything can happen here with probably have just over 10 laps to go when we go back to green.
And there you can see the 4 car still holding on to the lead, having great restarts all night long on that outside line. But this restart here that we're going to get with about 10 laps to go is going to have the reigning defending 2-time series champ John Peters on his inside. One of the best restarts in the business, and John's gone all the way to the back, started 29th. Shotgun on the field, has driven his way up through the field, going to restart second.
Yeah, John Peters now on the front row from the back of the field. That's pretty incredible. Gibby's going to have to be on his toes now, and we're going to see, I believe he's choosing the low side this time. So the last 2 restarts, Gibby chose the outside. Now he's choosing the inside, maybe because he knows who he's going to be restarting on the front row with. And but Gibby's been able to make that outside work, so a little bit of a surprise there. Choosing the inside, Austin Belkey's right there in 3rd spot. Ryan Messer's still hanging on in 4th, despite a pretty loose car that we've seen here on a couple occasions. And Ryan Libby still rounding out the top 5 after leading early. He's going to try to work his way back up there and challenge those front runners.
Absolutely. You can see the 4 car trying to slow the field down just a little bit and did exactly what he needed to out in front of the 09 car. Belkey slides on down. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there for the 09 car. Peters going to slide up the racetrack. Going to wiggle again coming out of the turn. And go Hopkins around in the 78 car. Looks like caution flag going to fly once again here with 10 laps to go.
That's the first time we've seen Hopkins get any mix of trouble really tonight at his home track. I know we sometimes joke about Mike being right in the middle of things there, but it comes down to that happening once again inside 10 laps to go. Be interesting to see what set that one off.
Yeah, a little bumper car action here at Stafford. We're going to back it up and take a peek, and that was up towards the front of the pack, it looks like. 24 car getting a little bit out of shape here. We see it, the 46 machine. Libby trying to close up, and there you see a little bit of contact, a little bit of drift in. Tokyo drift for the 24 car going up and around, holds on to it. 3 wide for, well, at least the top 5 positions there. Slides on back, and it looks like the caution might have been a little bit further on back. And there it is. Yellow car pointed in the wrong direction. I believe that's going to be, well, that's an orange car. That's a 6 car. John Miller pointed in the wrong direction on the outside fence. See if we can take a look once again at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Did a little bit of tumbling on that one, it looks like.
Didn't really look like that. Tough night so far for Miller. In one of his, there we see it was further up. Hopkins, Lewandowski, and then Hopkins came up the track and got Miller, and here goes. Whoo! Gonna need some cleanup after that one. Miller. So,
yeah.
Yeah, a lot going on in that one, as we've seen pretty much every yellow, where you have to have your head on a swivel and maybe have multiple heads to see everything that happened.
Really need to be aware of your surroundings, just like the real racing circuits, and that's why we see a lot of the real racers on this iRacing simulator. But here we go, 7 laps to go. Restart once again, the 4 and the 24. Once again, Kibbe and Belkey. There's the jump for the 4 car. Going to move on up to the high side, going into turn number 1. Top 3, top 4, top 5. Single file. The leader's wreck! The leader's wreck heading into the corner. Caution flag flies once again. Holy moly.
Wow, this has completely changed now. Yeah, we're going to definitely have to look at the replay of that one and see what happened. And I think the officials might have to review that one too to see what happened there. It looked like Belkey, he was on the outside and was just trying to find a way into the inside lane here. And there just might not have been enough space. Here you see he's going to finally try to work his way to the inside, coming into turn 1 here. And then Peters, though, he found his way to the inside line, but there was definitely contact there going into turn 1, and it sent both of the leaders around.
And that's going to give the lead over to the 24 car of Austin Belke or John Peters, depending on where that caution flag flew there. You can see side by side, neck and neck there in the as the caution flag came out. So we've seen some crazy things happen here in the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing group, and well, that's no exaggeration, or that's no. We're seeing crazy stuff happen here at Stafford here tonight as well. Words, English language, I struggle with it sometimes, but that's why we do it live. John Peters being showed as the leader, though. Brent Roy in second. The Camry kid holding on to that 26 cars podium finish. Belke up there. Actually, Belke in second. It looks like Roy back into third as we get everybody sorted back up and filed back in behind this pace car, this pace truck. Going to get ourselves a little green-white checkered action, it looks like.
Yeah, it definitely looks that way. And definitely watch out for that Brent Roy. He's one of those, besides Peters, he's probably along with Peters, he has probably one of the cleanest cars on the track right here. And don't count out Ryan Messer yet either. We've talked about his ill-handling car there, but he has been right there in the thick of it, right up front so far. And we're getting ready to go to green. Ryan Shipp gets his lap back. DJ Girard in the top 5 for the first time tonight. Brandon Uhouse, we haven't talked about him, but he's in the top 10. A lot of things have changed after that last yellow, and it's probably going to be set to change once again here on this green-white checker conclusion.
And there you see it. John Peters going to get the jump. Brent Roy up on the outside wall just a little bit, just kissing that outside wall, but he's going to hang on to the bumper. 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks as we cross the stripe. And man, oh man, coming down to the white flag here, turn 4. The 09 car of John Peters holding on to it once again. Started from the back. P29 shotgun on this field. Still getting a hard charge in 1 and 2. Brent going to go high. Not enough racetrack to make it happen. Going to slide on back just a little bit further. 3 and 4 now for John Peters in the 09 car. The GNG's gift. 09 Camaro coming out of turn number 4. Gonna get the checkered flag here at Stafford Motor Speedway for the ChaLew Performance Fall Final 75. Your winner, the reigning, defending, two-time back-to-back season champ, John Peters.
Wow, what a run from the back there for John Peters. Brent Roy, a solid second-place run. Evan Bollier, another podium finish for him. Ryan Messer hung in there for a 4th place finish, and DJ Girard rounding out the top 5.
Brandon Marhefka finishing.
Casa Grande somehow finishing 10th in that one.
Right in front of Zane Farrell in 11th, making his way back up in that 14 car. A couple of YRD, BSB, PP, PSB, whatever that race team's called. A couple of drivers right in the top 10 there. Brandon Marhefka, Dylan Kopech, Keith Lord up in the top 10 as well. Brandon Uhouse finishing 9th. You can see the rest of the finishing order throughout the screen here, throughout the field. Is John Peters with the Polish victory lap here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Win, I believe, number 6 on the season, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be the 12th top 5, and that's going to be one heck of a points night for the current points leader, John Peters, and hasn't even burned some of the tires off of the back of that car, but now we're going to do another Polish victory lap. Why not here at Stafford Motor Speedway? But a great run, another win, 6 wins on the season, on the way, almost on cruise control now to that 3rd straight series championship. John Peters, phenomenal run here at Stafford.
Paul, I thought I might never talk to you again this season. Thanks so much. Geez, I'm really excited with this one, and honestly really surprised because I thought this would be the hardest track to come through the field trying to take Sal's NetBets challenge, and I just can't believe it all came together. It was a really chaotic last couple of restarts there where one restart I was the bug, and then the other one I watched the windshield clear out 3 other bugs. So it really worked out, and I'm just super excited to get another win here and put $100 into the pocket of G&G's gift, thanks to Ryan Salvatore and RSL TV for putting that together. It means a lot to me and my family that he's willing to do that, and I'm just glad that we could finally pull it off.
Absolutely, a great cause for that organization, 100%. And man, just to be able to drive through the field here and to drive through 28 other cars here a couple of times, this is no slouch in sim racing. These are some of the best short track races we've got on the service and on the East Coast, all the way up and down, from Florida all the way up to the Maritimes in Canada. And to be able to start, he qualified second, I believe it was, started in the back with the NetBets Challenge and came home with the victory in Victory Circle 6 times this season. That's incredible, definitely, and it's a strong field here, and no shorter feat here at Stafford Motor Speedway. And oh, by the way, we still got a couple more races we can go out and win.
I hope so. It's been honestly really difficult starting in the back of these races. I think Atlanta was the first time I did it, and that was a really good opportunity to spread out 1.5 miles with different grooves. So I thought I might have an okay chance there, but geez, Bristol and Loudon, I mean, it's just really difficult, and I expected Stafford to be really difficult. And I think I picked up 5 or 6 cars in the first couple laps, and then I knew my chance was either long run or deviate on strategy. I think both kind of played out. I just saved my tires for a while. Eventually, guys started falling back to me, and a couple of them were real courteous too, and saw me coming and let me have some room, which I appreciate. And then I came down pit road, and I figured that was my chance to do something different with 25 to go. So I threw 2 tires on it, got the track position, and the next thing you know, I'm restarting second with just a few laps to go. And the 24, I think, drove in a little hot, and I thought I lost it at that point. But then even more chaos broke out on the next one. It all worked out. But I'm definitely looking forward to the next 2 weeks. I think it'll be fun and present more challenges.
100%. We got to give you the opportunity here. We know nobody does it alone in real racing and in sim racing. Who gets it done for the virtual 09 team?
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate the opportunity. Thanks to you guys, Paul and Aaron, for streaming, and Vadine for bringing this to the masses. Thanks to Corey and Zane for putting the league on and bringing us here to Stafford. Of course, thanks to my fiance and my 2 dogs for letting me do this. Thanks to my mom and everyone who's watching. G&G's Gift, Libby Septic Service, Dirk Nealon Racing, Turn 4 Automotive, 4 Season Synthetic, Digby's Variety. And we'll hope to talk to you again here in the next couple weeks.
100% dominating performance here in this race, the ChaLew Performance Fall Final 75, and the season so far. 6 wins on the season, leading the points as we get closer and closer to crowning ourselves a Season 3 champion. Congratulations, Johns. Go celebrate.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Going to kick it on down just a little bit further down pit road. Aaron, I believe you've caught up with his 229 Autosport teammate, the guy that finished in 3rd. I got the sticky note right here, Evan Bollier.
Hey, guys.
3rd place finish. Congratulations on the solid run. You're right up there in the thick of it. I don't think you were outside the top 5 pretty much most of the night. But what was just the difference there? I know you've been strong in these short tracks, but what was the difference between being up there at the front and in 3rd?
Well, first of all, I mean, congratulations to our 229 Autosport team. John with the win and Brent was 2nd. Pretty awesome to get the sweep podium. And yeah, Libby was really strong at the beginning of the race. Ryan and I had a really good race too. Met her and just didn't have the pace that Libby had. And then we got that yellow. John played the strategy perfect, got out in front of us, and he was able to carve his way through the lap traffic there. I'm sure Sal will have it in his replay, but John had the move of the race right in front of me. He split a couple lap cars, and that was really all. It was on from there. So.
And that last few laps, though, last couple restarts, it got a bit dicey there right up front. What did you see outside your windshield?
Saw a lot of cars spinning, a lot of cars spinning tires on restarts, a lot of guys getting into each other. It was pretty wild, but we just wanted to keep the fenders on it and get through it. Just enough to stay in it at the end. I knew that we had the right tire strategy if we could get some green flag laps in, but it didn't end up being enough to get the win. But I'm just happy with the podium after all that.
Yeah, second place. Second in points still. Still within a little bit of a striking distance, but surely extending your advantage in second at least. What's it going to take from you in the last couple races? You're probably going for the win, aren't you? And nothing else.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that matters. Is just winning races. That's really all that this league's just a ton of fun. Just go out there, enjoy the last 2 weeks before the real racing starts up. John's been starting at the rear too, so for him to come out here and win this was pretty impressive as well. So it'd take a lot to overtake him in points, but as long as we got the 229ers up at the front, I'll be happy.
Sure. And who else would you like to thank for bringing home this third place finish?
I thank my great sponsors, Hancock Lumber, Sunday Morning Farm, who we're going to be announcing soon that they're on board with our car this season. Again, they're just great people. And Restorations Home Remodeling's back, EJ Drywall, LB Cleaning Co., Laverier Auto Detailing, Nitro Designs, Angelo Four Seasons Synthetic, Jack's Property Services, K&B Automotive. I got a lot of great partners on this car. Bullier Construction. A lot of great partners on this car. I'm really looking forward to getting the real race season started. We're going to enjoy the last 2 weeks of this the virtual series and full steam ahead on 2022.
There it is, third place finisher, Evan Bollier. Did I get it right that time?
You got it right. Excellent.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
So back to you, Paul.
Hooked on phonics sometimes. Sometimes it's also just a sticky note as well. Going to catch up with our second place driver if we can find him here at the racetrack. I don't know where Brent went. Taking a look around the racetrack, but definitely doing a pretty good job holding on to that top three finish. We heard the teammates made mention 229 Autosports sweeping the podium here, and Brent Roy going to come home in second. We're in the middle of like a four-way battle for fourth in points. First, second, and third, pretty spread out. Steve Daddio, Kenny Kibbe, Brent Roy, Jason Ricker within 11 points for that fourth position. And Brent Roy, the guy that finished second right in the middle of that points battle. Good night for it. Everybody else finished a little bit further on. What's going on, Brent?
Oh man, that was a good race for us. Some of the guys didn't have too great of an event, but we're pretty happy with that result. And the 229, 123, which is always really cool to see. Happy for John to get the win, starting at the back and run with Evan and Jason and Ryan up there. So both Canadians in the top five, 229, 123, second place, good for points. Man, like what a good Thursday night.
100%, and a great race here at Stafford. A couple of cautions peppered in throughout the event, but that'll happen in big-time steel cage racing. Coming into here the night at Stafford, do you have any kind of strategy for that 26 car, or was just kind of picking them off as they fell?
Honestly, it was more of a case of just survive. This isn't really one of my best tracks. I haven't really been that great on short tracks here this season, so it was more of see if we can get some track position and qualifying, stay in the top 5, top 10 maybe, and just survive the night. And that turned into getting us in position for a potential shot at the win. Johnny put his car exactly where he needed it to be to protect it, but we're happy with coming home P2 here tonight.
Going to be sliding into the top 5 in the points, and now half a dozen top 5 finishes on the season. Top 5 of them to death is the terminology we've heard some of the drivers in the NEP series say before, but having a pretty good season to get it closed out. Couple races to go here to try and get another win or get a win this season. Nope, another win. We got that one win earlier on in the season. So what's it going to take to get this 26 car to repeat in victory lane?
I think we're going to need a little bit of luck on our side. I think we go to Motegi and Dover as the final 2 races, and I don't know what these things are going to be like at the Motegi track, and Dover I'm not crazy huge fan of, and there's some guys that are better at those mile and a half tracks that I'm fighting in points. So we'll see. We try to go in with the attitude of just trying to survive, and if you survive, you put yourself in position to win, and that's what we did here tonight. So hopefully we can maybe pull some tire strategy and pull a win out of the hat here in the last 2 races.
Did a little bit better than survive, finishing second here tonight. Brent, I want to give you the opportunity to thank whoever makes it happen for the virtual 2016.
Absolutely. All the guys that come on board of our real race car, but Sewell's Paving, my mom and dad and my sister always tune in on Thursday nights and watch. So I'll give a big shout out to them. Michelle's on the front fender there. Tucker Graphics, Tucker Appraisals. and the rest of the partners there. 229 Autosport, the guys help us throughout the race and throughout the week, and of course everybody who puts us on. You guys have Vidane, TCM, Tim's Corner Motorsports, and the NEP series themselves for putting on a pretty decent series. These guys are pretty good to race with, and we got to straighten out practice a little bit. Seems to be a demo derby there, but when the racing gets happen, it's not too bad.
100%. And again, the 6 top 5 on the season, couple of races to go. Battling for that 4th spot in the points. Brent Roy finishes 2nd. And that's going to wrap things up here. Always cool to visit Stafford Motor Speedway, whether it's virtual or in real life. And we made mention at the top of the show, Spring Sizzler time, getting kicked off in about a month and a half. And Aaron, I know you said once or twice you were going to try and get up to Stafford Speedway this year for a race or two. It's an awesome place, man. It really is.
Yeah, this has me excited to get to hopefully the real life fall final later in the year. Although I hope there's a few less hurt feelings from some of these wrecks, but with short track racing probably isn't. So it'll be interesting. But first, excited to go overseas next week for Motegi, I believe is the next one.
Yeah, that's going to be an absolute blast. We saw these drivers racing super late models here last season, and we heard Brent say it himself. We're not sure what these big Xfinity stock cars are going to do at that track, but it's going to be an absolute blast to watch. Off next week, a lot of these drivers heading down to the actual Hickory Motor Speedway, and I believe you can check that racing action out over on Flow Racing. If not, I'm wrong. We'll get it linked up on the Vidane TV Facebook page. But thank you guys so much for tuning in here tonight. NEPs Night in America here live on Vidane TV. Everybody tuning in from the YouTube, the Facebook, finally back on Twitch, Strictly94, celebrating 200 followers over there. If you haven't already, shoot on over there. Give me a quick follow. We do a lot of Grand Theft Auto content and some other video gaming, some painting, a bunch of other stupid little things in there. Definitely check it out if you got the time or if you're bored and you got nothing else to do. But that's going to wrap things up. Showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the production booth alongside me this season. Ron, Aaron Creed. We're going to be calling it in 2 weeks' time when we visit Twin Wing Motegi, and we'll be catching you on the flip side. When we do, we are going to be doing it live.